Alright, welcome back to Hellclock. We are here in Hell 25 difficulty, giving the final run in Act 1 a shot. Got a couple points in base damage, a couple into marksman, got some skill levels, some more base damage, more skill levels, a little crit damage, crit chance, attack speed, a little bit of extra mana to get up here to get the reduced cost for blessing redraws. We want to get the red portal and an extra rank of it. I'm coming over here with experience gain over to reliquary upgrade size. You could go up to banish instead, but I think the experience gain in the run might be better. Soulstone to come up here to hellclock timer. I suppose you could skip this and go that way and then come down. There's another option. Hellclock timer, and then we got blessings, more reliquary size, and then maxing out our hellclock timer. We have 1 point left. So, I guess we could put the banish in, just in case we get an unlucky draw on the blessing shrines. Sure. Alright, cool. For relics, we're running lasso, so we can auto-cast group things together with Northerner Belt. It'll cast lasso on critical. We are converting our meteor, which is usually fire-based. We're converting that to physical, so now when it falls it does physical, but no dot. And then we are also converting our rapid fire over to fire, which it was physical. So basically we're flipping the elements of the rapid fire, of the repeater rather, and the metaderia. I'm just going to say rapid fire and meteor. So we're switching the elements of those. So our rapid fire is applying the fire and our meteor is detonating the fire with our powder bag. Marksman skills that deal physical damage to ignited enemies trigger a fire explosion, dealing 195% of the triggered damage and consuming the ignite. So this makes it hit like a truck, plus when we convert it over to physical we get a bunch more just raw damage built in, so it hits really hard. We're adding lifelink onto our lasso, so whenever we auto proc lasso things together they'll get 24% lifelink, which if I'm understanding it correctly, there's nowhere in the game that actually shows me this, but if I'm understanding it correctly, it seems like any enemies that are lifelink together will share an extra portion of the damage. So if I hit them all for 100, and there's 4 of them, the 4 of them are all going to take 100 plus 25% of the lifelink, so 25 more for each one. So then that's 100 basically, I think, if that makes sense. And then we got a relic so that whenever we teleport we can get some mana back. Could be useful. I don't think it'll be an issue. Ignited status intensity increase here. That's the main reason we're running this, plus experience gain. I have also ran this spell, gains 10% of your convictions damage. Actually, I think I'll run that for this final one, because we are definitely going to be hitting our spell conviction barrier quite frequently. So let's run that. Unfortunately, it rolled plague damage, which does nothing for me, but whatever. We do also have these Peace and Quiet headphones, which I want to get worked in once we get another relic expansion. So whenever we teleport with safe passage, wherever we land, however many enemies are around us, it's going to give us conviction barrier. So, alright, so that's where we're sitting gear-wise. We're rocking some life steal on a ring. I think that's really important to survive the higher hell difficulties. Got some base damage on this. Crit damage would also work, but I figured with repeater, rapid fire, base damage would be really good. And we got some base damage and attack speed on our weapon. This could be a lot stronger than it is, so ideally I'd love to upgrade that. Cooldown whenever we can, evasion whenever we can, attack speed whenever we can. It's kind of getting a mixture of those things. I think maybe I should lean more into cooldown, but I'm not quite sure. On the constellation thing, it seems to have kind of bugged out. But we put the points into this one for the mana regen, into this one for the agility orbs, and then we put a bunch of points into this. Also, you can see it says 4 out of 4, but for some reason it's not showing it, so I don't know if it's actually working. But yeah, that should be really good if it does. Oh no, actually I know it does, because I've seen the cooldowns ticking down. Reduce all active cooldowns by 1 second when you gain an agility orb. And then we're gaining agility orbs by killing an enemy. Okay. Or dealing damage to an elite enemy also has a chance. Okay, cool. And whenever we create an agility orb, it gives us attack speed and movement speed. And then I don't think I put in these points up here yet. No. that would probably be our next one to go to, is this to get extra agility orbs. But we also came over here to this Hunter's Vision, or to Oxausi, and we got extra critical chance for marksman skills, extra critical damage for marksman skills, speed for marksman skills, 10x damage multiplier per agility orb, and 15x mana cost for marksman skills. So it does drain our mana a bit more, but it's going to work out because we are also investing in Ogum down here, which is going to give us some life, some physical. But more importantly, when we take damage, we gain stacks of Vigor. Vigor gives us damage reduction. And then when we deplete our mana fully, it spends all those Vigor stacks to give us an attack of 30% attack speed and cast speed, reducing all costs to 0 for 2 seconds. So you can just unload when you run out, and you'll just regenerate your mana back. So it's not too big of a deal. Also, grabbed 100 extra base damage for marksman skills up here, 10% skill speed for marksman skills. This one is massively important. Repeater fires 1 additional projectile for every 2 agility orbs, which is awesome. And then your marksman skills deal 30x damage against enemies not close to you. So if we're hitting them from afar, it's going to do a bunch of extra damage. There are a lot of relics that increase the damage with marksman skills close to you as well, that you could kind of, you know, get the best of both worlds that way, but we don't have any yet. But that's where we're sitting with our constellation map. That's where we're sitting with our relics. I showed you our skill tree. Alright, let's go on in and give it a shot. Alright, let's do skill speed on our rapid fire. Beautiful. I just got the extra ranks into it, so I haven't seen how strong it is with the extra skill ranks, so this is kind of fun. Let's see what the meteor does. I'm going to do an increased critical damage. Yeah. Looks like our safe passage is enough to kill him now. That's funny. So we're 10 minutes on the clock. That's pretty good. We're not going to worry about every single guy. Just going to grab what we can and move on. We do have red portals, so hopefully we get lucky and find some of those. Grab the gold. Nice, we got a trinket that's critical damage. A legendary one. Dope. And our little lightning orbs, as you can see, helps us break things too. Alright, skill speed is amazing on this, so we're going to grab it. It's also going to help us deplete our mana to proc that, that extra damage and 0 mana cost thing more often. I say once we find an elite, I'll show you. Oh, okay, well, once we get to a higher floor and find an elite, I'll show you how important the meteor is, but we won't see it. We won't see it till then. Alright, up to second. I did complete all the curse shrines on Act 1 to get those extra points. That said, I waited to do it until my second to last run. That way I could farm more meta progression off of the curse shrines. So I would activate the curse shrine and then kill everything but the last elite and then move on. That way I could gain the meta progression from the elites as well as the extra trinkets and stuff and relics. So it seemed to work pretty well. Let's go ahead and looks like we're sitting at 34. Okay. I think I'm going to grab the activation speed on the lasso right now. It will also give me a rank into one random ability. Looks like it gave us a rank into our meteor. That's cool. Every time you choose a level up for an item, it will level up the item, but also just level up a random rank of something else, which is kind of cool. Hey, boss. As you can see, meteor's pretty good. I can put on numbers for you guys until it starts lagging out the game. I had them on, but then I had to turn it off when I got to the higher floors. I think the majority of our damage, even though our meteor is hitting really hard, I think it's mostly elemental, because I think the meteor detonating the elements is more damage than the actual meteor. I'm not sure. I should have checked the damage charts before this. Elemental damage also helps the damage of our teleport, so whatever. Not that that's doing a lot, but it's not nothing. And it can apply shock, so And that is pretty effective in the early stages anyway. Give me the golds. Grab another Northern Belt cooldown. Got another ranking meteor. How lucky. So every ranking meteor we get gives us extra creative effect, which is great with this build. We can increase the damage of area effect skills, so that will count the detonation on our fire things from the powder keg, as well as the Metaderia. Could be worth doing. Elemental ailment duration is going to help us increase the amount of damage the explosion procs for, because it deals the entire damage of what it would have been if it ticked over time all at once. So we'll do that. Hopefully that makes sense how I explain that. Need to get more area so that the meteor covers like the entire screen, and then it still starts feeling really good. And the lasso gets really big too. It's such a fun build. I don't know if we can actually clear Hell 25, because Hell 25 is nuts, but let's see. Damage. That sounds good on our next one. Make these guys who have elite or have immune minions. Okay, big area of effect on our meteor right there. And now our meteor covers basically the entire screen. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Now going forward, the only thing we're going to grab from meteor is going to be damage stuff. Or reducing impact time. That's the things we're going to look for. Okay. Portal. I think I don't need any of these really, so I'll grab that just in case. Cooldown on our closed body sounds good. Haven't really been using it because we haven't needed to yet, but we will eventually. I do want to start getting some cooldown. We get cooldown by putting ranks into Safe Passage, so Safe Passage itself doesn't really do much for us, so increasing area effect is meh. But 1.5% cooldown per rank is actually pretty helpful. That said, I'm going to get that lasso down just a little bit more. I don't really care for mana costs on this, per se. So let's instead add a little damage to our teleport that we get the cooldown. And it looks like it gave us a rank into closed body randomly, so that's good. That's off of the lasso belt that we have. That's what caused that. Take the portal. I just want to clear the very close stuff. Portal will save us time on our run, so we definitely want to use that. We want to kind of hit those as soon as you see them, really. I don't know if I should have even went to that little side area, but because it makes up for what you miss automatically. You get very slightly less gold, but not significantly less. Here's where it starts getting laggy when it starts pulling in big groups of things, but alright, he went down pretty quick. You grab another rank of lasso, it's giving us a rank of vengeance this time, okay. Getting that lasso cooldown super low is very, very helpful, because we're going to be critting a lot in this build, and if we can just keep staying stun locked with lasso, it's great. I did have lasso as an activatable ability for a while, but I added the closed body because I was having some trouble surviving, and it's helped quite a bit. Like we got a side path down here, so let's take that real quick. Oh, did I already do that? I don't even remember doing that. Oops. Maybe this was a side path. Yeah, my bad. Might have to do some like quick clearing here. Get back on time. Leave behind whatever. Go back and pick it up on the loop around. Got one. Okay. Buff intensity for our crit is good. Makes it so that it does more when we activate it. Let's do mana cost reduction for our teleport. That way we're not burning mana for no reason. Fire and forget there. Okay. Ignite damage for sure. Okay. There's your gob down. Those guys. Devourers are kind of annoying because they'll burrow like that and then you miss your first meteor. The way you counteract that is if you get a lasso proc on them, they will get stunned and not be able to come down. So, feels good when that happens. Alright, last time we're taking Lasso, gave us another rank of Prayer of Vengeance, which is passively giving us crit chance. That's why we're up to 60% crit chance almost. There was a treasure goblin there, he's dead. Shrine of Learning, awesome! And then we get this, which is the end of the level. Oh, it's fine. That's fine. I don't think 2 base damage upgrades were 750 gold. I'll pass on that. Get 25 off a single bell point. This is the reason we wanted to level up our lasso a lot, so we can just kind of stuff off things as much as possible. Because it doesn't seem to be diminishing returns on it, so you get your repeater firing fast enough and then bosses can't move. This is kind of silly. It's kind of silly. We'll grab another one of those in case it's better than the one we have. I think damage would be good. I also think getting more cooldown for everything else would be good. So let's grab the cooldown for everything else. Retaliation damage is pretty good, so it's critical chance. What does this give us? Physical resistance? I mean, it's not bad. Sure, let's take it. Cooldown of the meteor is worth it. Alright. A lot of kind of utility things we got there from that level up process, but smite 'em. On floor 17, so it's the boss. It's already starting to lag out my game and there's not even about any enemies. It's because your repeater fires so fast and you get all those extra grenades. And then you detonate all the ignites at once with one giant meteor. Kind of silly. Kinda silly. Assuming you get everything ignited. I also kind of feel like maybe it also kind of somewhat feels like the repeater might be detonating itself. The important part is to hold down rapid fire and then just do one cooldown per let go. That way you can keep them stunned. Okay, skill speed. Let's make it go faster. What's better than a super fast repeater? Infinitely fast repeater. And this is where we turn off the numbers. You can kind of see why we have to turn them off eventually. Otherwise we can't play the game. It's fun watching the health bars melt as entertaining as well, right? This build ended up being way stronger than I thought it would originally. I'm very pleasantly surprised. I thought I wasn't going to be anywhere close to my Rosary builds or my Whirlwind build, but it's pretty good. Might even possibly be stronger. It has more support in the Constellation Tree, at least with what's out right now for the Constellation Tree. They're going to be adding more soon in the first major patch. Right now there's a lot of them that are locked, or some of them that just straight up don't work. Alright. Marksman skills deal more damage to close enemies, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. It's also gonna have other stats, it just doesn't show you them there. They roll randomly outside of it. I kinda wish it showed you them there, honestly. I suppose it's okay that it doesn't though. This guy killed us before when we got up this level, so we have to be conscious of their like health detonation that they do, so we don't get exploded by it. The 40% damage on our rapid fire is massive. So, if you leave behind like a little health puddle of your lightning, it will also make enemies get shocked, which makes them more likely to get crit. So it all kind of synergizes together very nicely. Section. Alright, floor 20 we might have to zip through. Huge amount of ignite duration. I think I'm gonna try to skip most of the floor because I have no idea how long the end boss is gonna take. So I'll stop for elites and for chests and that's it. Everything else will just either die or not die. Skip side areas. If I can get another level before we go up, that might actually not be the worst. So maybe I will kill some stuff. I think we're okay on time. I think it could take more than a minute and a half to kill. Alright. We got our level. That's the thing I wanted. Okay, so we have one blue upgrade on repeater left. 2 blues on meteor. What's our crit chance at currently? 60 without buff. So upping the duration of the buff. How long does it give you the buff for? It doesn't say, it says temporarily. That's not helpful. Okay. Yeah, we'll take that because it'll give us more crit chance. Even though I have no idea how much more time it gives us, or how long it is active anyway. Okay, well. They didn't want to give us anything other than lights, so here's what it is. Okay, boss time. Oh, he doesn't seem as susceptible to stun lock as the other guys. Okay, I'll actually play his mechanics, what there are anyway. He does have an extra ability too. Oh, he's still getting stun, it's just not quite as frequent as the other guys. $4,000 energy. You can see how good that cooldown reduction is on that constellation. It just keeps your cooldowns flowing really well. Maybe you don't even have to invest in the teleport, really. It just helps, so. Cool, we did it. This health 25 Act 1. Sweet. And I mean, I have gold anyway, so might as well re-roll it, right? You never know, maybe you find something. Grab the looking glass, just in case. I don't think we're gonna need it though, because when we do deplete our mana, we get the proc of Child of Ogum, so, and then everything is free. So, you know, for a while. Anyway. Alright. Well, that's actually rolled pretty decent. That's not bad either. Fire damage. Nice. The marksman does more close damage, close range. Critical damage, lightning resist, experience, good stuff. Here's our damage numbers for that run. It looks like Metadiria did do the majority of the damage. I don't know if it's like crediting that skill with the detonations from the powder bag. Probably, and that's probably why it did so much, but it hits hard either way. Repeater did 64 million, Metadiria did 111 million. Passage actually did 11 million, which I'm surprised. We weren't really using it for damage, we were just using it to apply the lightning debuff. I had it ranked as level 1, but with the massive amount of cooldown reduction we have, maybe we rank that up and have it do actual damage on Act 2. I might give that a shot. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this format where we just kind of give you a little rundown beforehand and then I just show you the last run in the act. So it's not like a 2 or 3 hour video, it's a half-hour video. If you did enjoy this version a little bit better, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day.